Let's begin editing the main hero section of our website. And we're going to start by deleting this pre-made section here and building a new section from scratch. To delete the section, go up to the top and click on the X icon. And that's going to delete that section. Now to add in a new section, just click on the plus icon. And then you'll be presented with a few options. To create a new section from scratch, just click on the plus icon. If you want to browse through Elementor's pre-made sections, you can do that here by clicking on the folder icon. To generate a section using AI, you can click on this button here. And Starter Templates also has pre-made sections and pages for you to choose from. So if you're looking to build something quickly, you can use these other options here. But for this video, and so we can learn how to build an actual section from scratch all by ourselves, we're going to click on the plus icon here. For the layout, we're going to choose flexbox. And then I'm going to close out of the structure panel here on the right. And then we can see all of the different section structures we can choose from. For this website, I'm going to go with the 2-panel structure right here. So I'll click into it here. And we'll see our new section here at the top. But right now the section is way too small and it's really hard to see. So let's go ahead and fix that. On the left, go ahead and find the height slider. Change this from pixels to VH. And then set this to 100. Now the section is going to take up the entire height of the page. Next, I want to add in a banner image here, instead of it being this bright white background. To do that, go to Style on the left-hand side, and then we can choose our background type. If I click on Classic, I can choose a color or an image. In this case, I'm going to go with image. So to upload my banner image, I'm going to click on the plus icon here, and then I'm going to drag and drop in my image from my desktop. I'll upload this here. Then I'll go to the bottom right and click on Select. Now right now I can't actually see my image, and that's because it's too large. We can fix this by going to our settings on the left-hand side. Now depending on your image and your image resolution and what you're going with, you may have to adjust the image resolution here, but in most cases you'll have to go down and find the display size setting. Change this from default to contain. And now you should see your entire image appear. When you change the display size to contain, it's going to take your image and make sure that it only appears within your section. And now with our background image added in, we can start adding in widgets. Let's start by adding in some text. Go to the top left and find this plus button here. And we'll start by dragging in a text heading. We'll drag this into the left side here. You'll see this pink line appear. That shows that this widget is going to be dropped in right here within this container. So I'm going to drop it here. And now we can start editing our text. And to edit your text, you have 2 different ways to do it. You can double click on the text to highlight it, or you can edit it here on the left-hand side. Now go ahead and replace this text with your website's headline. I'll type mine in here. For your e-commerce website, this should be a simple, eye-catching headline that describes what you're selling and what your e-commerce website is all about. With that typed out, let's go ahead and click into our container settings. That's going to be this gray box right here. Now here you'll see some of your format settings for your container. This is going to change how certain things within your container appear. Widgets like text, images, and videos. Let's go down and find Justify Content. And I'm going to want to set this to center. And now everything within the container is going to be nice and centered on the page. Now let's click back into the heading itself. Then on the left, go into Style. Click this pencil icon next to Typography. And here we can find some of our text settings. I want to start by changing out the font. So I'll click into it here. If you have a specific font you're looking for, you can type it here and find it. One of the most popular fonts out there right now is called Poppins. It looks great and works for just about any kind of website. I'll click on it here, and that's going to change out my font. Right now my font weight is also looking a little bit too thin for this being a headline. So on the left-hand side, I'll go into weight. I'm going to change this from default to extra bold. Now, I think that stands out a lot more and looks a lot better. Now we need to add in a subheadline. To easily do that, we can duplicate this text. Right-click on it and click Duplicate. I'll change out this text by double-clicking on it, then I'll paste in my subheading. Now for this text, I'm going to go back into the style settings, click into typography, and then under weight, I'm going to set this to 400. Now I want to make this text a little bit smaller as well. So I'm going to go to the size slider here, and I'm going to scale this text up to where it looks just about right. I think 24 pixels looks just about right here. Next up, I want to add in our call to action button. So I'll go back up to the plus icon, and I'm going to look for the button widget here. I'm going to drag that underneath our text and drop it in right here, and we'll see our CTA button here. I'm going to change the text from click here to say shop now. And for my website, that's my call to action. With this button, I'm telling my website visitor what I want them to do. For most e-commerce websites, that's going to be shop now or buy now. But in your case, it may be a little bit different. So type in a call to action that makes sense for your website here. With that done, let's click into the Style tab. And here you're able to change a few things about your button style. You can change the position here. You can also click into the typography settings, and I'm able to change the font to match the rest of the fonts on our page. So I'll change this to Poppins. And we're also able to change the text and button color. For the colors on this website, I used this website called Figma to generate a color palette. I recommend using a color palette generator like this, and I'm going to leave a link in the description to this exact color palette generator. And this is where I'm going to be pulling in some of the colors for my e-commerce website. So I'm going to start by changing out the button color. I'm going to click on this icon here, and then I'm going to paste in my hex code. So now I have this nice brown button here. I think this color looks pretty good because it blends in with our background image and makes the page feel a bit more cohesive. So right now, if I take my mouse and I hover over my button, nothing interesting really happens. And that's why we have the hover settings here. So let's click into hover. And now we have the exact same settings for whenever our mouse is hovering over the button. So for example, here I could go into color, I can paste in that same hex code, and then I can take the color slider and make it just slightly brighter. So now if I hover over the button color gets a little bit brighter. On the left, we also have the hover animation. I like to change this from none to the first option at the top, which is grow. So now if I hover my mouse here, the button comes off the page a little bit and gets a little bit brighter. Next, we can configure how our button shape looks. And you'll do that by adjusting the border radius and padding. So right now, if I go to border radius and bring the value up, you'll see it kind of shrinks the corners of the button. It makes it less square and a bit more rounded. So I'm going to set this to 15. Next, we'll adjust the padding. So I'll adjust the padding here. And as you can see, as I increase the value, it's going to make the button larger. So once again, I'm going to bring this down. And I think 18 looks just about right. And right now these values are linked. So for example, if you click on this icon here, it's going to unlink the values. And I can adjust the values for the padding independently. So let's say I want the left and right sides to be a little bit smaller than the top and bottom. I can go to the left value here, and I could set this from 18 to let's say 14. And I'll do the same thing for the right. And now the button is going to be larger on the top and bottom. You can do the same thing for the border radius as well. Okay, now that our button is looking good visually, the last thing we need to do is make sure it's linking to the correct page. So scroll up to the top and click on content. And then for link, we want to make sure that this is set to the shop page. So type in shop, click on the shop page here. And now when somebody clicks on shop now, it's going to bring them to your products page. Awesome. Now I think our hero section at the top of our website is looking really good. I'm happy with the widgets that I've added in so far, but if you want to, you can go back up to the top here and click on the plus icon, and you're able to continue dragging in all sorts of different widgets. I would scroll through these, add them in, experiment, and see what works best for your website.